We've just gone through a year of record food inflation, and now we're being told to brace for further price increases at the grocery stores as retailers and manufacturers cope with a series of challenges that go from reduced supplies to higher transportation costs to explosive commodity costs. In fact, the latest food price report released on Monday estimates that food prices will see a 7% increase on top of the 10.4% growth seen over the past 12 months. That will add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the average family's annual expenses. Says Samantha Taylor, one of the researchers behind the report. Living is expensive, and we are not bringing good news, Taylor stresses. The report projects that price hikes will occur across all food categories. Researchers noted that the typical American family of four is going to be forced to shell out an average of $16,288 on food over the course of 2023. That is an increase of $1,065 from this year. A two-adult household will spend $7,711, and that's a jump of more than $500 from 2022. With all that said, we've decided to list some of the items that'll be seeing price spikes in the next few weeks and months. But before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Without further ado, here are 20 food products getting more expensive in the months ahead. 1. Soups, with traditional soup makers such as Kraft Heinz and Campbell's reporting shortages of ingredients and aluminum cans, as well as inflationary pressures impacting their bottom lines. Prepare yourself to pay more for soups this year. According to the Daily Mail, in December, Heinz announced that its famous tomato soup will face a 40% increase over the next few months. If you've been to the grocery store lately, you've probably seen that at Walmart, 400 grams of soup now selling for almost $10. Unfortunately, that trend is expected to continue throughout 2023. 2. Breakfast sausage. Consumers are starting to notice that even cheaper meat options are facing some disturbing price increases lately. Tyson Foods, ConAgra, and other meat processors have actually notified their retail customers in recent weeks that they will hike prices in January for frozen and refrigerated meats. Some of the products that will see increases include ballpark hot dogs and burgers, State Fair corn dogs, Jimmy Dean frozen breakfast, Hillshire Farm sausage and lunch meat, and Hebrew National and Oscar Mayer hot dogs, according to supply letters to wholesale customers viewed by CNN Business. All the packaged meat suppliers are coming to the price increase party, said one industry insider who spoke on the condition of anonymity to protect their company's relationship with suppliers. The price increases will range from 10.9% to 12.6%, CNN reports. 3. Oranges, with Florida, one of the biggest orange producers in the nation, facing a 51% decline in production during the 2022-2023 season, which represents the smallest amount produced since the 1936-1937 season, and lower supplies will be translated into higher prices ahead. The price of oranges rose by 13.8% in 2022, and this year, orange futures have spiked by 42% due to these supply chain issues. Retailers are still assessing how much prices will go up in the next couple of months, but food experts at Nielsen IQ say we're about to see double-digit increases. 4. Grapefruit. Grapefruit prices in the United States will continue to grow this year, according to a new report published by Indexbox. In 2022, the average retail grapefruit price in the U.S. was estimated at about $1.02 per pound, 12% more than a year prior. This year, Grapefruit prices are forecast to grow by 7.1% due to rising fertilizer and logistical costs and reducing domestic supply. On top of that, the output is set to drop by 13% to 343,000 tons due to smaller harvests in both Texas and California. 5. Margarine. Since the end of 2021, global milk supplies have tightened, propelling prices for manufactured dairy commodities higher, the U.S. Agriculture Department wrote in a report last year. Tighter supplies of margarine, combined with a sharp rise in the price of edible oils, as well as Indonesia's ban on palm oil exports, are likely to boost demand for the product in the next few months. Barron reports that margarine prices were up by 32% in 2022. But as more and more people cut back on butter and start buying margarine instead, the price of this staple is set to rise another 12% this year, resulting in a 44% increase in 2 years. 6. Cornmeal. Corn prices have soared by roughly 50% in 2022, and right now a bushel costs more than twice what it did a year ago. Corn has been one of the sharpest rises in the broad rally in raw materials that's prompting companies to boost prices for goods and fueling concern among investors that inflation will get worse, not better, in 2023, the Wall Street Journal reports. Meanwhile, China is still hoarding tons of corn as it rushes to fatten millions of hogs to replace the pigs it had to slaughter earlier due to an outbreak of African swine fever. The report says that China is expected to import about 4 times what it normally buys from abroad this year, most of it from U.S. farmers. As a result, there will be less corn to meet the domestic demand, and corn products such as the baking and cooking staple cornmeal are likely to face shortages and higher prices. In fact, the same 32 ounce of cornmeal that was selling for $9.79 in December at Amazon is now retailing for almost $12, which means that the changes have already begun. 7. Jam. With sugar, fruit, and glass prices going through the roof, jam has become the latest victim of supply chain problems. The National Farmers Association notes that weaker than expected fruit harvests are about to result in slower jam production all over the nation. With the cost of ingredients and materials going up by approximately 30%, according to USDA data, the agency projects that jam prices may experience a 9.5 to 11% rise in the first quarter of 2023. 8. Bananas. We hope the world will understand that it is impossible to keep banana prices at the same level in this situation of rising costs, said El Neo Duran, ambassador of the Dominican Republic, in a meeting with global leaders a few months ago. Banana prices already rose by 14% in the U.S. over the past 12 months, reaching a record high. Other suppliers, including Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Guatemala, are also hiking prices due to elevated fertilizer costs, shipping, and freight disruptions, and also the emergence of Panama disease on a large number of crops. The disease is caused by a plant-killing fungus that can devastate entire crops in a matter of days. Tasting tables say that the price of bananas will cause a severe case of sticker shock in the near future, with consumers having to pay roughly 6% more for the fruit. 9. Fish sticks. Our main fish supplier, Canada, has seen the fish population decline by 29.4% due to a massive heat wave that killed approximately 1 billion sea creatures. Now, shoppers will have to contend with decreased variety and elevated costs. Yahoo reports that demand for fish sticks is steadily going up as meat and poultry prices become far too unaffordable for many families. At Walmart, the same Gordon's 30-ounce family pack that used to sell for $6.59 in the past quarter is currently costing almost $8. So, if you love fish sticks, you should probably stock up on it soon because prices will only go up from here. 10. Biscuits. Given that flour, sugar, dairy, and vegetable oil prices are skyrocketing all over the globe, this beloved item is about to double in price in 2023, according to one of the world's biggest biscuit makers. Plodis, which owns McVitie's and Jacobs, among others, say that rising commodity prices are the main reason for the price increases, exacerbated by supply concerns. Like many other categories faced with this scale of inflation, we can't ignore that costs have gone up, and this may flow through to higher prices, Managing Director David Murray said, adding that the company dealt with substantial challenges in the past in the food industry, but it's the combination of these issues, as well as the scale of some of them, that are unprecedented. Plodis estimates that biscuit prices will have to be readjusted upwards by 15%. 11. Yogurt King Danone just revealed plans of hiking prices over the next couple of months, and other food makers are likely to follow suit. A smaller national cow herd is driving milk production to the lowest levels in almost a decade. Consequently, manufacturers are competing over the available supply, and that competition is also contributing to a spike in prices. After rising by nearly 14% over the past 12 months, yogurt prices can see another 9% to 11% increase in the first half of 2023. 12. Tomatoes. Last year, fewer tomatoes were grown as rising interest rates, inflation, and the crushing drought squeezed farmers who saw their margins sharply dropping. While the cost of growing tomatoes continues to rise for farmers, consumers are already feeling the pinch at the stores. 95% of the processed tomato products consumed in the United States come right here from California's Central Valley, said Mike Montana, President and CEO of the California Tomato Growers Association. Mainly, the tomatoes from the growers that I represent go to your ketchup, pizza sauces, your retail sauces that you see at the supermarket. Declining yields sparked a 21% jump in prices at the wholesale level, and soon shoppers will start facing the impact of these higher costs at supermarkets from all around the country. 13. Dried and processed vegetables. We all know by now that vegetables are significantly more expensive compared to a year ago. The USDA reports that due to environmental disasters, vegetable prices went up by 40% in the last year. For that reason, many Americans were resorting to dried or canned vegetables as a cheaper alternative, but experts at Fresh Plaza say that processed vegetables are about to face the highest spike in prices in a decade, as rising energy, rising labor, rising packaging and transportation costs combine with a higher demand to make these products 8.5% costlier in the coming months. 14. Chicken nuggets. Soaring chicken prices are also making consumers turn to cheaper options, and chicken nuggets have become a staple in many households. Sales have grown by 50% in the third quarter of 2022, but unfortunately, a shrinking chicken flock and competition with restaurants and fast food chains are making the price of this consumer favorite jump by 10.9%, and further increases are expected later this year as supplies continue to contract. Even major chains like Burger King are suffering from those price swings. A few months back, the chain announced that it was going to reduce the number of nuggets in meals from 10 pieces to 8, and also that consumers would have to pay more to get them. 15. Onions. Onion prices have reportedly shot up across the U.S. in recent weeks. A report by the Free Press Journal noted that rates of the essential commodity have seen a 60 to 80% rise in the fourth quarter. The news portal added that the surge in prices will continue until fresh crops hit the market by the end of 2023. Skyrocketing freight prices also play a role in this pricing. We are paying 100 to 120% more than December 1st freight rates, which were already 70% higher than in 2021, said Shay Myers of Oing Produce. At supermarkets, we're likely to see an average increase of 13%, according to East Fruit experts' predictions. 16. Juices. As a consequence of dwindling inventories, slower global production, and growing consumer demand, fruit prices are rising all across the board, and juice prices experiencing the same trend. Plastic and glass bottles are also more expensive than they were a year ago, and the compounding effects of all of these aggravators can make your favorite juices 6 to 17% more expensive, depending on the flavor. Lemon, apple, watermelon, and mango are likely to lead the rise. 17. Frozen French fries. There are two major contributors to the coming surge in frozen French fries prices. First of all, a global shortage of potatoes that drove prices up by over 21% last year. And secondly, the impact of the Ukraine crisis on global markets and the consequent rise in sunflower oil costs. If that's an essential in your household, it would be a good idea to free some space in your freezer before the new round of price hikes begin. PotatoBusiness.com forecasts that frozen fries will see a 14% raise in 2023. 18. Sweets. Some of the biggest companies in the sector, including the Hershey Company and Mars, are warning retailers that another price readjustment will take place over the next couple of quarters. While Hershey's maker cited a mere 8% jump, Mars products like Skittles and Starburst are getting 42% and 35% more expensive, respectively. The industry titan cited droughts hurting sugar beet crops in northern U.S. states and supply chain disruptions for chocolate makers related to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Bloomberg reports. 19. Carrots. With the increase in production costs, carrot prices will be strongly impacted from January, says agricultural economist Dr. Johnny van der Merwe. Cash-strapped consumers will have to pay considerably more for carrots this year, he warns, adding that chances are that prices will only stabilize in the summer. Carrot yields are lower due to extreme weather events. Prices for Mexican jumbo carrots crossing Texas are 108% higher than a year ago. Carrots are already on high level, but we can expect the prices to remain strong for the first half of 2023, the economist predicts. And 20. Broccoli. Broccoli markets are tightening up, and after a few months of low prices moving from $9 to $15, overall broccoli prices are up 50% from November levels and are expected to climb further this winter. Mexico's and Arizona's broccoli output has decreased sharply over the past 3 months, and California's production will only be harvested in the spring, explained Mark Campbell, founder and CEO of Produce IQ. As a result, expect prices to remain elevated until domestic production in California gets going in mid-April, Campbell highlighted. We hope you have been prepared for the grocery shortages and price readjustments companies and retailers have been warning about. But if you didn't, it's not too late if you start now. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to always know when a video is coming up.